Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now let me share the 3 reports. First, the new club agreement form, which has to be filled by the club. And can you see this?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay. The club coach agreement. Do you all remember when we should fill this club coach agreement? That's before appointing the club coach. Only when the world headquarters receive this club coach agreement signed by all parties, they will officialize the appointment of club coach. So let us see this. This is the first step. Club name, club number, district you have to fill, and the directions here. District director or delegated program quality director or world headquarters. Undistricted is not important for us. The undistricted, let's skip the undistricted clubs. The district director or the delegated officer, PQD or CGD, confirms the club to be coached as at least 3 but not more than 12 members at the time of coach appointment. Confirms the club coach has not been a member of the club in the past 6 months. We have seen all those things, but the form clearly mentioned all those things, and you have to sign and agree to this. Confirms that the coach has had active membership with Toastmasters International for a minimum of 1 year and has served as a club officer for 1 annual term or 2 semi-annual terms. So all these requirements are to be confirmed by the district director or the CGD. Confirms the coach has completed a minimum of level 2 in a path or ACB or ALB as per the old education program. Confirms both the club officers of the club to be coached and the club coach have completed the club coach program training in the base camp. All this has to be completed before we start filling this form. The district director or the delegated PQD or CGD reviews this agreement with coaches and club president and obtain their signature. So it's very transparent process. The club is not imposed with a club coach. The club agrees, and the relationship, the camaraderie between, or the partnership between the club and the coach starts from here. Now this can be submitted to world headquarters by the district director. Here in this agreement, see, you can see the agreement is signed by club coach, the second club coach. So there are 2 club coaches, the club president and the district officer, district director or the delegate, PQD or CGD, as delegated by the district director. So all these parties shall verify the requirements of the club and the coach, and then submit this form to world headquarters so that world headquarters can appoint the club coach officially. Now the agreement, the club coach, is an agreement by the club coach that the period of service is minimum 6 months by June 30th. That's very important. 6 months by June 30th. With the below requirements met prior to seeking club coach credit. They can only coach 1 club at a time. This is again to improve the quality, focus on 1 club, 1 struggling club throughout the coaching period so that the club get the full attention of the respected coach. Let his skill, the coach's previous experience and the leadership skill be utilized for in a focused manner to 1 club. They may not become a member of the coach club during the coach assignment. This was the answer to our respected AD question. Should not become a member of the coach club during the coach assignment. They must complete and submit the club coach preliminary report within 30 days of appointment, the club coach progress report every 60 days, and the club coach final report once the term of service has ended. I request our CGD, Saiju, if you can share this report in the chat so that you all can download it.
Immediately we'll be sharing that one.
So our respected audience members here can download it and go through it conveniently later. The club coach education program credit requires the club to achieve distinguished or better status by June 30th, following the completion of minimum 6 months requirement. Following the completion of minimum 6 months requirement. This is the new addition in this new club coach program. Again, please see that as a step to improve the quality. Those who have worked closely with struggling clubs, you know how difficult it is. The shortcuts are eliminated in one way, I will say. So minimum 6 months period is required, coaching period is required. Club coach district leadership credit also is granted. These are two credits, two different credits. One is this the education program credit, which require the club to become distinguished like previous program. Now, the district leadership credit, the club coach can get the district leadership credit if the club achieves 20 or more members in addition to the club being distinguished. So here the difference between these two are to become distinguished, the club need not necessarily have 20 members. As I mentioned, if the club has only 10 members in the beginning of the term, 15 members will be good enough to get the DCP, distinguished credit. However, the club coach to get the district leadership credit, the club shall reach 20 or more members. So accordingly, the credit will be given by World Headquarters, either the education program credit only or district leadership credit also in addition. To receive credit, the club president must notify the club quarters, must notify the World Headquarters in writing that the club coach was successful. So that's also important. Not only just becoming distinguished, but the club president shall certify that the club coach program was successful. If the club coach is unsuccessful, the appointment can be extended for 2 additional program years. That means total 2 program years. The current program which he is serving plus 1 more term ending with June 30th. Now the club president agrees to encourage the officers and members in actively pursuing distinguished or better status, club status. This is also important, and he signs, the club president signs here agreeing to these elements. Encourage officers and members in actively achieving 20 members or better. Invite club coach to club officer meeting, DESCOM meetings every month. Now the district director who signs the form agrees to submit this form to World Headquarters at time of appointment, read and respond as appropriate to club coach reports. So the preliminary report within the first 30 days, the progress report every 60 days are sent to district director. They read, they understand, they evaluate the progress and submit any remarks or improvement points so that the club coach, his leadership skills can be improved. Again, see it as a quality evaluation. Ensure the club coach is under the club coach 360-degree evaluation. That's it. 360 evaluation is another important element which helps, though it's not a mandatory requirement, it helps the club officers, the coach, to understand his leadership style better. That's the first report or the first document, the club coach agreement form. Now, we have seen the first report. Let us take the first report also. The preliminary report, which has to be submitted in first 30 days. So once the club coach is officially appointed by World Headquarters, then within the first 30 days, the club coach, each of them separately has to fill this particular form. Like it's not tedious to fill this. If the club coach has met with the club officers, understand the club specifics, and make an action plan, which of course has to be done in previous case also. Whether they skip it or not, that's a different thing, but there are no shortcuts. The club coach, after meeting after meeting the club officers and understanding the club specifics, can easily fill up this form, 4-page form. Here, the new club coach information name. The first club coach fills one form with his name and date of appointment, membership number, the club details, the membership roster, how total maximum 12 members will be there. Just enter the list of members here, which can be collected during the first meeting from the club president. Then the club officer roles, most of them may be vacant, we can understand. However, whoever are registered, we can fill up that club officer president. These are the specifics about the clubs, which are to be collected during the first meeting. It's better now. On the second page, it's like the club success plan, the distinguished program goals. This is what we do in the club success plan also. What are your action plan to achieve distinguished? Simple. See, what goals were achieved, distinguished club program, current and 3 prior program years, if applicable. If the club was active for last 3 years, collect the details. The club history is important, whether the club was distinguished during the last 3 years. You can easily get that from the dashboard. However, please discuss this with the club officers and make them aware that the club, what the club status based on the DCP goals. What was the status during the last 3 years? So the last year, before that, and one more year before that, 3 year, fill up the goals. One program year so and so, say 2019, 2020, fill up the 10 goal status. The other program year 2020, 21 maybe. Then program year 21, 22. So 3 years history of the club. Once you have collected the history, what are your goals for the current year? How are you trying to, or how are you foreseeing during the 6 months, next 6 months coaching, where the club will be? Is there a possibility that the club can get DCP goal number 1 or DCP number 2, like level 1, for level 1? Is it practically feasible? Or can we aim that for membership, training, administration? Just see the action plan. Your action plan can determine the goals. And then you can write the action plan in detail here. So this has to be done during the first 1 month. See, all this, if the club coach does his or her duties diligently, take his role seriously to improve his leadership skills, you'll see how this will improve in a qualitative way. These all are to be done anyway to help the club. So what all World Headquarters is asking, or what all the new club coach program is asking, is to record it. Earlier this was not recorded. All this may be happening just in the minds of the club coach or the officers. But now it has to be recorded, it has to be filled in, signed by the coach and sent to the district director. Is it too much to ask? Okay, let us see the next deliverable, the progress report. This is the base report, the first report. Now we have to see every 60 days, what report are we as club coach submitting to district director. The progress report. Again, the progress report is similar to the preliminary report. Based on the preliminary report, which was sent to district director within the first 30 days, review the progress. Of course, as a club coach, we on a regular basis, earlier also, used to review the progress of the club, struggling club. how many members, how many meetings happened, how many new members joined, how many guests came, how many education awards were completed, or are the members in track to complete education awards? Are they moving progressively on pathways, or these are tracked as a club coach? So the club coach information, the first club coach submit one report, the second club coach also has to submit his report to get the credit. So details of the club coach, details of the club, and club's goal, each education goal. See here, we are not mentioning about the previous case, the history. The club history is already taken. Now here, we are seeing your goal, what you expect, and what's the current status. Now, your plan. Let's make it transparent. Whatever as a coach you are planning with the club, make it transparent with the district leaders. What initiatives have you taken as a club coach during the last 60 days? So every 60 days, 2 months, you are submitting this report. So let us write it down. You know that very well as a club coach. You may have done it previously also as a club coach in the previous program. In this program, we are recording it. Now, challenges, if any, experienced during the 60 days, preceding 60 days. How are you going to address or overcome these challenges? Whatever challenges you identified, see your plan, write your plan to address these challenges. What additional assistance does the club require from the district? So these will give the district officers, the district director, CGD, a very clear idea about the struggling club. See, many times we have seen the club coach works in isolation. Sometimes the club coach works in isolation with the club, and the district officers are completely out of picture. And they may, so that this, whenever they send emails or communicate with the clubs, it may not sync with the current status of the club. This has, these reports make it very transparent between the club officers, the club coach, and the district officers. See how beautiful it will be. See the concept. See the quality improvement. Instead of the club coach struggling or the club struggling in isolation. Here, a team, the district is supporting, district, club coach, club officers together, a team is helping to attain a sustainable status for the struggling club. And the coach signs this and submit to district director every 60 days, every 2 months. Again, is it too much to ask? I think it's all happening anyway. So let us record it. Let's make it transparent. Let us show that we are working as one team, and let's improve that teamwork. So these are the 3 forms which is required to be filled by each club officer, club coach. Now we are ready to take more questions.
Question, next person is Toastmaster Gaurav. Toastmaster Gaurav Paul.
Hi, sir. Unmute, yes.
Good morning. Greetings
Good
from
morning.
Dubai. Great session. I believe Toastmasters is bringing in this diktat of what can be measured can be managed. So coaches, rather than operating in a gray area, are committing to something. The club is committing to something, the officers, and then it's being monitored. So some amount of paperwork is there, of course. I just want to bring in my experience. I was asked to be a club coach in March last year, towards the end. And this was a club which has grown, but did not become distinguished. So my role was primarily to stabilize enhance the meeting quality, bring in some members. So today, the club has 15 members from an earlier number of, I think, 10 or 11. So it has grown, but none of this paperwork was there. So there was only a form filled by me, and I got a mail from TMI saying you are now club coach. I operated technically in the last term for 3 months. So now, what is my status? I am continuing to be the coach. Like in the month of July, August, September, we've started September now. I am still the coach, but where do I go from here? Like I did not accomplish 20 last year. The other metrics were more like, yes, you can say things got better, but they were not measured. So what is your advice in my case? And I'm sure there are other people who are similarly anointed coaches, but then they don't know where they stand now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this. I fully understand. So you were appointed as a coach during the second half of the last term, but the club didn't meet the requirement and the club was not awarded. Or club was not distributed and you were not awarded the club coach award, the education award. Now, that automatically take you to the second term. Like you will be continuing as the club coach for one more term till next June 30th. You can verify that the system, the appointed club coach list is the dashboard, or you can write to TI and ask the status. But in all cases, you will be continuing your club coach assignment till next June 30th, 2023 June 30th. Now, during this term, the new club coach program applies. That means whatever we mentioned here is applicable except the appointment of the club coach. You are already appointed, you are continuing your term, so you are the club coach. However, the first deliverable and the second deliverable and the final report, ensure you're filling that. Have one more meeting at the beginning of this term. See, the new officers are already synced in with the club, they're sitting. So let us have one meeting with the club officers. Of course, you may have already had a meeting with them, made a club success plan maybe, made the action plan maybe. So all this, whatever we mentioned there, the first report, every 60 days, then continue reporting it, the progress reports, submit to the district director, and by June 30th, I'm 100% sure with your dedicated service, the club will become distinguished and you will be a successful club coach. And I would see the way you're helping the club in ensuring the sustainability. At 15 members now, surely it will become 20 and we can get the full credit. I hope that's clear.
We have our next question coming from Toastmaster Jijo Thomas. Toastmaster Jijo, you can unmute yourself if you have a question.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, big thanks to DTM Sunilji and DTM Shaiji Victor for work behind this wonderful club coach program. I have two questions. The one is already being done. I don't know how can my DTM Shaiji Victor can read my mind. The first question was how a member to convey the interest to join the club coach program. I think there's already a link being shared. Thank you. The second was what are the support as a club coach we get it from the district level? Is there any team there to support for the completion of this program?
Okay. The first I will say, anyone who is attending this training session, please ensure you complete all the requirements of the club coach as listed in the document. And most importantly, inform the district officers that you are interested to serve as a club coach. Let's do that. because only then the our CGD, SAIJU, or the DD, or the district team will have the list, so that any club which requests for a club coach, they can choose one of you from the list. So that's the first step you can. That's the first assistance the district can give you. That's the first one. Second, during the club coach program, once you are appointed as a club coach, see, this is where the reports are important. You have the preliminary report, the first report, first deliverable, and the 60 days report. You have already seen that you can mention what type of support you want from district. Right there, anything, whatever you want. The CGD and the DD or the district team is, they will read it and they will respond back. If you write there nothing, I am taking care of the club completely, they will say, very good, we trust you, leader. Otherwise, if you are expecting anything, any type of support, see our CGD Saiju, CGD Shemimas, our DD, Rania, the PQD team, all are here to support the district needs, the needs of our members, needs of our leaders, and they will do that without any failures. But only thing is, please inform them that you need. Whatever is your requirement, convey that in a transparent way through the reports, through your preliminary report or the 60 days report to the district. According to the situation, according to the nature of the requirement, the support requirement, they will either do it themselves or they will assign one of the members in their team and support you fully. Can I get the assurance, Saiju,
Oh,
on this?
sure. We assure you, our team is already always there to support you. And those of you who are interested to become a coach can in fact fill in a form which is already shared in the chat. You can click and it's a Google form. You can fill it up so that we will have a database of all those people who are interested. And we are there to support you 100%. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone, any more questions? Yes, if you can, okay. Yes. Toastmaster DTM Mukta. You can unmute
Mukta,
yourself.
Hi. Wonderful to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sunil. It's lovely to see you too. And thank you. I mean, I've really enjoyed the entire session, a lot of learning. And we actually did conduct a session in our new District 125 last weekend, but I still joined yours because I knew I would get so much value from it. So thank you so much for it. I just have one, I think maybe Saiju can correct me if I'm wrong, but this year, I think for club coaches to take clubs which are struggling from 3 to 12 and just add 3 more members and not 5 is going to take them to distinguished status apart from the 5 DCP points, of course. So I think the Toastmasters International has lowered all standards, whether it be for distinguished clubs or also for distinguished districts. So that was one point I just wanted to make. And I think Saiju, maybe you can confirm if that's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Now TMI has come down on the requirement of 3+. But for the, as rightly pointed out by DTM Sunil, if you want to use this credit for your DTM purpose, then you will have to make sure that from whatever number you will have to go to 20.
You go to 20. I agree. You know, it depends upon each one, but most importantly, of course, is the quality rather than the numbers game. So that was one comment I just wish to make, because you had said 5 and you know, I think it is now 3. So good luck to everybody. I have just signed up for club coach for the club coach program, and so I definitely will take things seriously, although I did hear objections to all the paperwork that is required going forward. But I think it's a good thing to keep for your own records, as well as to provide to the club so that they too can maintain it and see how they are progressing. So thanks, Sunil, for all this information, and I will download these forms. Thank you, Saiju also.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining from District 98.
Yeah, and now I'm also part of District 125.
125.
For both. Thank you.
Thank you. That's true. Sometimes, we don't see it as lowering the standards. See, Toastmaster International understand the struggles the clubs, members, the district all goes through during this tough time, especially during this pandemic time. So there are a lot of areas where Toastmaster International has changed the requirements, or rather, little bit diluted the requirements, so that the members can still, irrespective of struggles, they can still achieve the goals. This is again a bonus. Don't take it for granted for in coming years. We understand the tough times you are going through, and like you have seen many changes during the last couple of years during the pandemic. We see that gesture of humanity, gesture of helping, gesture of consider it as a positive sign without reducing the quality. Yeah, this is very important. When we help the members by making their life easier, we don't want to reduce the quality beyond certain levels. It's not always possible. It's a big challenge. You may have noticed that it's a big challenge to keeping the quality level high at the same time meeting the challenges, because it's double the effort is required to help a struggling club during this tough time. Earlier itself, we were doing a lot of activities, a lot of steps to bring a struggling club to sustainable status. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's really, irrespective of all our effort, the club falls. It happens. It happened earlier in our district also. There's a lot of effort from our leaders, our members, our coaches, our area directors, division directors, district leaders. Still, we are not able to make some of the clubs survive. It's sad. However, what happened, but we will do all our effort together as one team to help the struggling clubs become sustainable, and let the new club coach program in a quality way improve the system, and most importantly, let the new club coaches get that deserving raise in the leadership skills by actively involving in these actions, the steps. That's now is a must for a club coach. The reporting, the meetings, the camaraderie, the togetherness, all this. I'm sure end result will be much rewarding for each club coach to take up that role now from this year onwards. Thank you very much.
One more question is there. After that, we will wind up. The last question, which has come from through chat by Toastmaster Mahendran. My internet is a bit unstable. That is why I am asking this through chat. That is what he says. Is that mandatory that a coach has to bring new members or supporting club to reach 20 members?
Of course not. It's not coach duty at all. See, there's a big difference between the action party and the guiding party. The coach, just to get the credit, don't step into the action zone. That way, we are not developing the club into a sustainable mode. What we want to see is the coach be outside the club. That's why we are specifically mentioning don't join the club, be an outsider and help guide the club. See, the difference between guiding someone and ensuring that he becomes successful is much rewarding than doing something and becoming successful. It's a beautiful feeling you receive end of the day, helping someone from outside and making him successful. It's a rewarding experience. So the coach is not the action party, to do anything. The club officers, they are the action party. The club officers discuss their progress every month during the executive committee meeting. If the club officers are not meeting, then coach can guide, let's meet, take initiative, or ask the club president, when are you meeting? Let us meet. Let's discuss the points. Initiate that. Initially, only the president may be there, the first meeting. Second meeting, the president, one more officer may be there. Third meeting, one more will come. So slowly we will improve the situation in the club. It doesn't happen overnight. That's why minimum 6 months period is there. Sometimes the 6 months will end up like 16 months. So all this may happen. However, the end result that will be rewarding if we follow, if the coaches follow these steps. And let us do that. Let us experience that rewarding result, end result. More than the credit. The credit is a paper, but the experience you are getting is much, much, much more than that paper, the value of that paper.
Thank you, DTM. Now, to wrap up the session by giving the vote of thanks, let me invite DTM Praveen Panikar, who is a passionate Toastmaster and a person who always walks his talk. Please put your hands together for DTM Praveen Panikar.
Thank you, DTM Saiju Victor. And today, very finally, our guest presenter, DTM Sunil Kotarathil, concluded his speech saying that the experience what you get is important rather than getting the credit. What a nice way of presenting and concluding a presentation. Let us give a big round of applause to our presenter guest, DTM Sunil Kotarathil, for that catchy and detailed presentation on new club program. As DTM Saiju mentioned, he has put a link in the chat box. So if you can take 1 minute or 2 minutes quickly to fill up that form, then we can, if those who have not done it, please do it. So because you are, I'm sure, since very attentively listening to the presentation, maybe not got time to do it. Please do it in 1 minute's time quickly to fill up your name and the details so that we will have a database for us to contact you to become a coach. That 1 minute time, I just want to ask you something to DTM Sunil, that it's not exactly the topic, but it's a post becoming a coach. You know, we nowadays we have mentor, advisors, coach, and how the importance, how the importance of coach comes in. Because I know, of course, coach is very important in any field, but in Toastmasters, the mentors also does more or less mending actually the people to come up and take up the roles or whatever. And the coaching, how important, the strategies we can adopt the post session becoming a coach, to become a good coach, to convert that 3-member or 4-member team to a 20-member team. I'm sure you would have had a lot of experience. Maybe you can put a little bit of light into it that will help the people to aspire to be a good coach, you know, because in 1 or 2 minutes time, because time also is precious, so we don't know have a
as a coach, as I mentioned, what you experience is priceless. Because I had that golden opportunity to coach one of the struggling clubs. The club was not meeting for around 8 months. And if you leave it like that, it will die, of course. Nobody, the members change their priority and they move on and they will continue their journey in the, in the corporate or person life. They'll forget about those masters, they'll move on. But as a member, as a leader, when you see a struggling club nearby and you have your friends there, the people who were your associate, you were not having touch with them for a few months, but when you call them and hear about the status of the club, then you realize that the club is no more meeting. It pinches somewhere. Then you say, why don't we take one more attempt? I can also help you. So it starts from that feeling inside you that it's your duty as a leader to help someone. See, will you leave someone who is in ICU just like that, or will you get an expert doctor's help? It's like giving a helping hand. There's no harm in giving a helping hand. There's no harm in anyway, they're all your friends. You know, one of those leaders. And you understand that nobody's interested. They have changed their priorities. It's not that they are not interested. They have changed their priorities. So Toastmasters is no more a priority for those members in that club. So from that stage, you slowly inject that priority. You slowly see again the benefit of that togetherness, the bi-weekly meetings, the warmth of the bi-weekly meetings. When 2, 3 members start enjoying that warmth, then slowly spreads to the old members. Then people start coming back. See, that was in the year 2011. I helped that club. Even today, I have a very good relationship with that. The leaders changed, the members changed, the new leaders came in, new members came in. But over the years, they will keep on calling me. I never became a member of that club, but I just helped them. It's a great, that's why I mentioned from my heart that the experience you are getting is priceless. The reward is not the credit. See, after one stage, after you get a DTM or when after these credits are no more counted towards your future education awards, then these are uh, stored as a valuable, uh, cherishable things in your heart.
Yes.
And those are what remains in your heart in a bright way throughout your life. Not the DTMs or not the credits or not the education awards you have earned, but these memories, priceless memories. The power of them is rewarding way. So I just want all of our members who are attending this to have those, which I experience. I want you all to experience. That's my wish. That's my uh, dream, or I want to see you all enjoying that. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DTM Sunil. Now, I think let me get into my duty of vote of thanks. Respected District Director, DTM Rania Abulra, Program Quality Directors, Club Code Directors, District Officers, Division Officers, and my dear fellow members. Great afternoon to all of you. The interesting thing about coaching is that you have to trouble the comfortable and comfort the troubled. See how nicely put it. And now today we heard how to do this, rather learn to do this. To become a good coach or to become a coach from a MAV and Toastmaster DTM Sunil Kotarathil. See, aspiring to be a club coach was the title, and he has decoded the club program, the new club program, in such a way that all of us aspire to be a coach. So he has quoted, club is where magic happens, where you have to be out of the comfort zone. And so the club coaches are also important. And he mentioned the experience, what you get is what you should enjoy in your life. So how you make the topic interesting is the skill of the presenter. And how you make the topic clearer and dearer to the audience depends on the knowledge the presenter has on the subject. If both meet, then the purpose met. I think DTM Sunil Kotarathil is gifted with both these qualities in this case. He has clearly, very, very softly, but clearly, confidently telling us each and every point without any confusions. So that shows that how knowledge he has got in this topic. I'm sure he has decoded clearly new club programming. All of us to become a club coach. The Google form definitely DTM Saiju, by seeing the numbers, would have been definitely astonished to see that. From the bottom of my heart and on behalf of CGT team, all members across District 105, we express our sincere gratitude to DTM Sunil Kotarathil and for his valuable inputs, training on new club coach program. I go pardon. Please give one more round of applause to DTM Sunil Kotarathil. Thank you very much, DTM Sunil Kotarathil, once again from our side. And our mentor, guide, and the leader of District 105, DTM Rania Abulrab, the guiding force behind District 105. Today, I think she could not physically available here, but a big thank from our side to DTM Rania Abulrab. The right and left pillars of District 105 is DTM PQD, Club Program Quality Directors, DTM Diva Surendran, DTM Jamil Shakil, and Club Row Directors, DTM Shamima Hamad and DTM Saiju Victor. Your continued support, guidance, right advice, commitment, and dedication are what drives the team. So thank you very much to both the leaders. Let us give a big round of applause to both the leaders for their continued support. We all know that marketing is the key, and you must market yourself. It is very, very important in the current scenario. And our district always in the limelight, our events, activities, whatever, always reach the members quickly. How? Who is behind it? Yes, it is our dedicated PR manager, DGM Shushida, and her entire team. Thank you very much, and please keep doing it. That is very, very important, and we need it. We would like to thank DTM Rohin Kumar to kickstart this meeting in the full vigor and vim, and each and everyone who worked behind this to make this event successful. Failures are expected by losers, ignored by winners. We all want to be winners. Am I right? So how we can be winners? For that, we need your support always. And our own members, and you are the heart and soul of everything. Without you, we are nothing. So we thank each one of you who could not, as well as who are present physically, actively participate in this program, and also for your presence, valuable presence throughout. We will be humbly, thankfully acknowledge your presence here once again. Let us give a big round of applause to each one of us, those who are present here and those who could not make it also. Let us give applause.